So this was kind of an idea that I kind of got out of the idea from reading Marvel Legacy #1, the issue that's supposed to tie everything off to Marvel Legacy. And yeah, you can see Gravity Falls, the Atlantis saga. Now this is supposed to be set in. I wanted to have this story set in the Marvel Legacy timeline. Now that I know there was a Hulk story I talked about that was set in the Marvel post Secret Wars timeline. But yeah, this is a totally different story that's set in Marvel Legacy. And this story mostly centers around Gravity Falls in the Marvel Universe, but it focuses also on Namor, who has the fandom of Marvel. You either like or hate, or you either really like Namor or you really fucking hate him, as I've come to understand throughout the years of people. You either really like Namor or you really fucking hate his guts. There is no in-between. Anyway, so the story is in the Marvel Legacy timeline. The remnants of Atlantis are trying to rebuild. The Atlanteans are trying to rebuild Atlantis, and they're getting close. But the problem is they're fucking sick of Namor. Namor has done nothing for them but lead them into conflict over conflict over conflict, and it's shown. And Namor, because of Namor, he was one of the reasons why Secret Wars happened. So Namor. The other Atlanteans pretty much say, you may be our king, but no more. No more Namor. So they make him abdicate the throne, but the problem is they still need a leader. They kind of need a leader, so they need a fresh start. And they attempt to go to Namor's cousin Namora, because she is of royal blood, she can take over the throne. But Namora denies it. She says, nope, I can't do it, because half the time while I was Namor's guide, I supported half the things Namor did, so I am in no way qualified for this position. So, yeah, you're gonna have to find someone else. So now the Atlantean Council is like, fuck, what do we do? So it turns out that they had to look they can't find, they need someone of royal blood. The problem is Namora doesn't want it, and they've banished Namor. So they dig around, and they dig through the bloodlines, and they go to the surface world, because for those who remember, way back in the 60s, in early Fantastic Four comics, Namor was left without his memory until he went to the water, when he was put there by Johnny Storm. He was kind of living like a homeless vagrant for a long time, when he was being reintroduced from Timely Comics into reintroduced into Marvel Comics. And there was a long time between that timeline of him when he fought alongside Captain America in World War II with the Invaders. So, as it turns out, Namor has grandchildren that are they have some Atlantean in them, but they're not to the level of Namor yet. But they find out that, yeah, Dipper and Mabel are the grandchildren of Namor. In that time, yeah, because he did have kids in that time when he lost his memories. So it turns out, yeah, he had kids, they're his grandchildren, so by right, they can rule. But a lot of the Atlanteans are like, do we really want another surface dweller, ruling us? And these guys, they're kids. And to which they're like, yeah, they're 13 now. They're twins, so only one of them can be ruler, and we're gonna pick Dipper because, yeah, it's a guy. It's a very patriarchal thing, Atlantis, as I've come to understand. Marvel's Atlantis is very patriarchal. In terms of some of the comics. I don't know if that's still a thing, but in the 90s comics, that was very patriarchal. So 90s Namor, yeah. So yeah, they're like, yay, look, kid, you two are gonna rule, you're Atlanteans, your grandfather is Namor the Submariner, we need you to be our king and queen, we need you to be our king, and, subsequently princess, because Atlantis is fucked without you, and, our kingdom is being rebuilt, and, the vultures are kind of circling on us, so no pressure. So obviously Dipper and Mabel are like, Mabel thinks this is the coolest thing ever, but Dipper's like, what? He's a our grandfather's a fucking terrorist! What the fuck? And now you want me to be king of an empire I didn't know I had? What the fuck? oh my god! So as usual, he's freaking out. But of course, he's forced to take it, because, he's more, Mabel convinces him, look, these people need us, and even though we've never been to Atlantis, that's kind of our home, really. And Dipper's like, that's not our home, we don't need them. We've never known us, if Namor is really our grandfather, why didn't he come find us? So, that's kind of the thing, is that, but eventually, yeah, he goes to Atlantis with everyone else in tow, and he is Dipper, who goes by Mason now, the only person who really calls him is Dipper, and he takes on the throne of king, only at 13 years old, to which Mabel's like, yeah, but Tutankhamun got the throne when he was like 9. Yeah, Tutankhamun fucking died when he was 19, though. So, yeah, no pressure. While this is going on, oh, what the fuck's that? Oh, I guess there's construction outside. Whatever. I don't know if the mic's going to pick that up. But yeah, while this is going on, Namor, no longer having a kingdom, is, he's now he's no longer welcome in Atlantis because of what he did. So now he wanders Earth, he wanders the surface world, trying to figure out his place. Much like how he did after the events of World War II. So he's now trying to re-find his place in the world, and he wants to understand the surface world better, and maybe not be a dick so much. So that was kind of the idea I had, is that, Dipper's taking on a king, taking on being a king, and, of a kingdom that he had no idea that he was related to, while Namor goes back to base and he's a man without a kingdom. So the whole thing is that, yeah, and also you have Atlantis, which is still rebuilding, has, like I said, the vultures are circling, and by vultures, I mean Atlantis' enemies on the surface world and and in Atlantis. You've got Atuma, who is attempting to take control of the empire, of the kingdom of Atlantis. He's getting major support, because, yeah, a lot of them are not happy about, A, it's another surface dweller ruling us, and B, it's a kid! Are you serious right now? So that's kind of the thing, is that a lot of attention is going to Atuma, and the U-Men are back. If you don't know who the U-Men are, in a nutshell, they're Nazi Atlanteans. Nazi Atlanteans, yep. So yeah, the U-Men are back. The U.S. government has hired Tiger Shark to take him down, to take Dipper and Mabel down, because they are afraid that another war with Atlantis might happen. They don't want that, so they're like, hey, Tiger Shark, go kill him. Yeah, rather than open diplomatic relations, they're like, nope, we're going to stamp this fire out right before it happens. Meanwhile, Nomura is now like a guide is now an advisor to Dipper. Meanwhile, and she's also like the PR. But however, Dipper kind of decides, you have ties to to my grandfather, who's kind of is a total asshat. So Mabel, not only are you princess of Atlantis, you're gonna be our PR guy, our PR girl. And Mabel eats that shit up, because not only does she get to live out to being a princess, she also now gets to be in front of the camera and, promote Atlantis as like, look, we're just we're refugees now. We're totally cool now. Namor's out, my brother's in, it's all good, guys. It's no longer a dictator regime. Well, it was never a dictator regime, but yeah, well, our grandpa's kind of a dick, so we're cool now, right? But Dipper now has to, pick up the pieces of what Namor left behind. A ruined Atlantis, enemies on all sides, and on the surface world. Let's not forget that Namor, when he had the Phoenix Force in AVX, he drowned Wakanda when he was possessed by the Phoenix Force. He submerged Wakanda. So, him and Black Panther don't exactly see eye to eye. They didn't see eye to eye also when in the build-in to Secret Wars. So yeah, there's a lot of bad blood between Namor and Black Panther, and subsequently, T'Challa doesn't trust his grandson, because yeah, his blood his blood runs through your veins. How can I trust you or any Atlantean? So that's kind of the thing, is that, Dipper's fighting an uphill battle that he didn't even want to do. So, that was kind of the whole idea for this story, is that it's not only a story about him taking, the reins of the throne, but also, Namor, who's, hiding incognito on Earth, on the surface world, trying to find his place again and trying what it means to be a king. And the longer he stays in the surface world, the more he gets weaker, because if you guys know, his power depends on how long he stays in the water. If he's in the water, Namor is as powerful as the Hulk. So, that's kind of the thing, and yeah, Dipper and Mabel, when they were getting older, now that they're 13, their Atlantean abilities are starting to show up as well. Enhanced durability, they're actually learning how to control water. Namor actually, the Atlanteans actually build similar to the wings similar to Namor's on his heels to allow him to fly. And of course they can breathe underwater. But yeah, this idea is kind of a little big, but who knows, maybe I'll write it. This was kind of something I thought of a little while ago, so I was just kind of like, yeah, this sounds like a cool idea, and set in Marvel Legacy, where everything's a fresh start, kind of, not really. Alright. But yeah, that was kind of the thing, is that the whole idea is that it's a story about a kid who doesn't want to be king, and a king who doesn't have a kingdom. That was kind of the main focus. So yeah, that was kind of the idea in a nutshell. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this story? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know, and yeah. I don't know if I'll write this, because like I said, it's kind of too big. It's kind of a big story, but who knows, really. Anyway, so yeah, just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.